Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Ned from Ned's Tech, but otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Remember back in, what was it, 95, when the only people you had to worry about were basically hackers, the hackers messing with you online and stuff like that? Well, these days you have to worry about the feds, you have to worry about the FBI, you have to worry about lots of people watching in on you. Anyways, these days we all just kind of know and we take for granted that the Fed is watching us, and we say that we all have an FBI agent. Android 16 can warn you if a fake cell tower is trying to spy on you. Now, there's many different types of fake cell towers, but the ones we're worried about here are actually a stingray. A stingray is something that the police can use to intercept your calls. Android 16 can warn you that you might be connected to a fake cell tower. Android 16 is adding a new security feature that can warn you when your phone might be connected to a fake cell tower, mobile network carrier, stingray device. This feature alerts you to an unencrypted connection or when the network requests your phone's identifier, which can help detect when surveillance might be happening. There's many simple things you can do to keep your private information safe, like using strong passwords, scrutinize app permissions, and install apps from trusted sources. However, some attacks are much harder to protect yourself against. Now, me personally, I have a really good relationship with police, relationship with feds and whatnot. I'm not worried about them. I'm seriously not worried about them. And while I should have the right to make sure they don't have what I'm doing, there are a lot of crazy women that I love that like to throw out accusations about stupid things. Especially after you're done with them. I shouldn't say after you're done with them. When the relationship breaks down, many guys will know, women are going to get really pissed off that I say this, but when relationships break down, women can be very jaded. They can be very toxic, and they can throw around lies. They will re-review everything that you've done and everything that you said. And if they have such a little bit of a negative thing, or they're particularly vindictive, then they can ruin your day. They can make your life very hard. Now, I shouldn't just say that. So, for example, my ex-wife, when she took time off to have the kids, and she became addicted to TikTok. When she became addicted to TikTok, she became addicted to really bad ideas. And seriously bad ideas. She was worrying other people with the way that she thought things would turn out in court if she did this, that, or the other thing. She decided she could get more money from the government in Canada if she was single, and if she said this, that, or the other thing, then she could get away with having more. Now, she'd talk to friends, and because of the way that society is, because of the way that culture goes, generally anytime, and a lot of people will know this, when a woman gets tired of their man, they usually find someone new at work, or someone new as they're out partying, or something like that. We don't want to talk about this. What we want to talk about is the patriarchy and colonialism and all of these bad things. Women like complaining about their rights, but they never say anything about their wrongs. And seriously, I've heard women say and do some really dark things, and their friends will just be like, okay, I've heard things like a woman saying, I keep banging my boss, but he won't leave my wife. And the other woman's like, oh, it's just the universe telling you something, or something like that. What she should be saying is, girl, you shouldn't be there with your boss. You should wait until no longer has a family, that type of thing. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes so much. So I had a disabled daughter, right? Now, I knew that my ex was basically being separated from me by her friend, who was her girlfriend. I didn't realize it, and the girlfriend's husband. Now, I had a disabled daughter, and I have to make sure that my daughter gets what she needs in life. So if you're going to destroy my family, then you have to help me out with my daughter, bucko. You have to help me out with my daughter. Now, what I ended up doing is going to his house, knocking on his door, and, he wouldn't come to the door. He'd never come to the door. I went to the place where they all party, and they're all like, oh, Nevin, we don't know who you are or how you know we're here. Bitch, You were at my wedding. I was at your wedding. These two were the bride of honor and my best man. The only reason I didn't have a best man personally is because I know the way that friendships go. Like with numerology, when you get to 10, things reset. And I had a bad feeling if somebody was part of my wedding party that the relationship was going to go sour. And I didn't want anyone involved in that part of my life. Little did I know that the people that my wife chose to be my best man and her maid of honor were going to be her next partners and not help us with the children. So I finally got the guy to come to the door after I basically spooked his family, just saying, "Hey, I just want to talk to him. Just want to talk to him. I wanted to go for a walk in the park with the guy to ask him why he said the things he did to her, and to tell him that she is our go-between now, because she kept saying the dumbest things. She kept saying the meanest freaking things to me, the meanest things. And in the end, he called the cops. Now, this is why I always make sure the police have my phone number. They know who I am because of dark things that I've gone through in my past. During Project Chanology, I had to help rein in some really dark people. I was new fag. Old fag was out there. You guys know what old fag was doing, the 764? Hey, I promise I wouldn't talk about super dark things anymore. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it has always benefited me to be on the good side of the police. So when I do this stuff, the police just call me up and say, "Nevin, what are you doing? Are you okay?" And maybe don't do that anymore, okay? So then they don't have to come to my house. They don't have to, like, they know exactly what's going on. Now, I'm lucky. The police I got around me have a brain. They kind of have half a heart. And I keep being told that cops wouldn't do anything for you. They wouldn't do anything for you. But I'm lucky, maybe. The cops that I have around me are a little more understanding, and I don't generally have a problem with them. But there's other places you do got to worry about these things. And police have lots of information, lots of information. But I'm telling you, there are some places where if you... I have faith in the police where I am. I don't know any police that I have anything against, but if I was in a feud in my small town area, that might be completely different. And if they decided to bring these stingrays out and listen in on me if I was doing something I shouldn't, then that could be bad. There are many simple things that you can do to keep private information safe, like using strong pass. Oh, sorry, you're there. This type of attack is called a stingray, an attack that sets up this device near a target they want to surveil that mimics a legitimate cell tower. The stingray tricks nearby mobile phone services into connecting to it, allowing the attacker to control the unique identifiers, IMEI, and even force them onto older, more insecure protocols. Now, legit, if the cops were going around with a stingray, they have a good damn reason to. I don't do anything that I worry about a stingray rolling up on, but let's face it, with the cops in the States, we get things like the CIA, who have no problem making money off of cocaine. We know about like the Contra, Ollie North, that kind of stuff. There's definitely some places that you shouldn't trust people. Like if I was let's say I was a black gentleman in the States, in certain places, it is clear that in certain places you get cops that just want to run you over, that just don't like you because you know that guy, or they think you're a problem, or like, let's face it, sometimes you get some neighborhoods that just absolutely hate cops. And they're very disrespectful to police. And police, let's face it, at the end of the day, they're human and they're going to have biases. They shouldn't be racist. They shouldn't have their biases, but they are. And they can misinterpret things into being this, that, or the other thing. But legitimately, with all of the problems I've gotten into with the police before, I don't see why the average individual would worry too much about this. But I do think it's really cool that this could be picked up. But at the same time, there's other parties, not involving people with stingrays, but people who have fake cell towers that just want to get your information. If the cops can do it, other people can do it. And as time passes by, this is the kind of thing you want to keep an eye on. especially if you're in other countries. If you're in other countries, like I'm in Canada, I'm in small town Canada, and I don't have much to worry about. But if I was in, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there, Bangladesh, Thailand, maybe certain parts of China. I love the Chinese people. The CCP can suck a cork. You'd be worried about these things, and this is definitely something, especially if a phone should know if you're stepping down in its intelligence, if its coding is being stepped down and it's no longer secure. You should know. You should definitely have that ability to know, and this is fascinating. Believe it or not, I know a social worker who went around to police, and man, like 20 years ago, the police had the ability to go up to this machine, put your number in, just push a button, and through triangulation, like let's say there's a cell tower here, here, and here. If they press a button, they can send a signal to your phone, and then kind of get an idea through triangulation exactly where you are. Now, as a tech, I think that is awesome, cool, off the hook. I have never had to fear the police, the feds. I've never had to fear any of these people. And I wonder who would. But in my ignorance, in my internal ignorance, I'm probably putting my foot in my mouth. And if you are one of the folks that know how ignorant I am, please leave something in the comments about saying what kind of dangers people might run into here. Now, one thing I could run into here is if I was dating the police chief's daughter, perhaps, and they happen to have a stingray. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. You know what they say? Things could happen, but the fact that I'm above board does a lot for me. At the same time, I don't know about the rest of the world. Unfortunately, only one of these three features is widely available. The ability to disable 2G connectivity. The problem is that the implementation of these protection requires corresponding changes to the phone's modem driver. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for me. Not from That's Tech, but take care of each other. And we got to fight for our right to party. Have a good one.